So the Islanders fire their coach today, Jack Capuano. What took so long? Here's the thing. As much as I'd love to throw Capuano under the bus, I can't. I've seen some Islanders games this year, and I don't think it's bad coaching. It's just not a very good team. They let Okposo go. They brought in Ladd. And that was a large mistake. It wasn't their only mistake either. There's a book here, which I will find. All right, so the offseason moves included Kyle Okposo being gone, Franz Nielsen being gone, Matt Martin being gone, Mark Zidlichky was let go, and Brian Strait. Brought in was P.A. Parento. Well, of course, he got waived. Andrew Ladd, who's been poor. Jason Tamara, who's very good. Not top 6 at this point in his career. And yeah, that's it. I mean, you can look, let's see, Zidlichky only scored 16 points in 53 games, but he was a body on the blue line. Of course, Matt Martin, losing him, I think, has been huge to their bottom 6. And it's just, it's an iffy team. They were a decent team last year. Not great, decent. And now this year, they're bad. I haven't watched a game of theirs that I've said, oh yeah, no, they should win this. Not really. And it's sad, too, because, you know, they beat Boston 4-0. Didn't save Capuano's job. Rightfully so. You shouldn't be judged based on one game. But now the bigger thing here is this kind of puts Garth Snow in the crosshairs because now he's fired his coach. So now when they don't turn it around in the second half, you have to wonder if ownership's going to say, well, maybe this GM isn't the guy. You have to wonder if Garth Snow is going to be the next one to fall. And Garth Snow's been an interesting story in and of himself because at the beginning of his time in New York, of course, that was during the Charles Wong era when everything was just weird. And there were some odd contracts and some odd moves, and a lot of people said Garth Snow was in over his head, and then all of a sudden the Islanders got somewhat better, and now they're bad again. So Garth Snow as a GM, it's really hard to grade him. I know I have that one site that tells me every trade ever made by a GM, as well as every trade involving players. I may take a look at Garth Snow's and just see if I can come up with the pluses and minuses of the trades he's made. But in essence, trading out Okposo, bringing in Ladd, showed that they went cheap. And, you know, that's huge, because that's a difference of, say, 20 goals in the season. Quarter of a goal a game. And you're... Yeah, I mean, you know, before the season started during the summer, I said a lot about how I didn't like the Andrew Ladd signing in New York, and I was told that I was wrong. I was told that Ladd was a good player, and I didn't know what I was talking about, and he had a rough go in Chicago, but he'd been really good in Winnipeg before that, and my answer to that was, I'm not sure what Ladd they were watching, because anytime I watched a Jets game with Ladd in it, the final season he was there before he got traded, he wasn't very good. He wasn't very effective. So I guess we'll see what happens. But, you know, for Garth Snow, he's on the clock now. This is his last go. If he can't turn the Islanders around, they may give him a year after this year, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him get canned at the end of this year. Because he's been there a long time. But the Islanders are a team that's been struggling to find an identity for a while. And I know they really want to bring back, you know, guys like Trottier, Tonelli, Bossy, and anybody into the fold that they can to try to identify with the glory days from the early 80s. Take it from Oilers fans. Don't do that. Don't try to count on former glory in order to achieve that former glory again. And Montreal, too. Montreal became a better team when they stopped trying to do that. When they just got the best guy available, and it didn't matter what his history was. So we'll see. Let me know in the comments if you agree with the Capuano firing. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think that Doug Waite is necessarily going to be a huge improvement, but at least Doug Waite's got he's got the ability to lead. I know from when he was a player, and I'm old enough to remember when he was a player, that I liked his leadership. I know when he was in St. Louis. I know the Stanley Cup run that Carolina went on. Waite was there. He was a part of it, and who knows? Maybe he can help turn the Islanders around. But it is rough because they're fighting from behind here. Halak is in the minors, and Grice and Berube are their goaltenders, and I don't think either of them is a starter. So the Islanders are stuck. And it's weird to me that you have a GM who used to be a goaltender in Garth Snow, and you can't find a starter. You have a goaltender GM in Philly who's had goaltending problems too. And whether that's Mason or it's whatever, you can debate whether it's Mason or it's the coaching staff, and you can use Bobrovsky as an example in Philly and say, look, Bobrovsky was much better after he left Philly. But there isn't really an example like that with the Islanders because there's been very limited attempts to upgrade made, and now they're paying for it. When you have a team that is mediocre, okay, makes the playoffs, makes the second round because they played Florida in the first round and then bows out without a whole lot of fight, you may want to upgrade the roster because you're not a contender at that point. And the Islanders didn't do that. And now Capuano's been the one to pay for it. And you know, you can debate whether it's him or Garth Snow. I personally believe it's Garth Snow's issue. But, you know, again, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're just browsing through, go ahead and hit like and subscribe because that's what everybody else is doing. On an unrelated to the Islanders note, though, something weird happened when I was out today. I was out locally at the mall. I was at Best Buy, actually, and the clerk recognized me. He said, you do YouTube videos, don't you? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, I've watched a few of them. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. So this has happened. So, you know, Yvonne was there and saw it. And I just kept saying, this is really weird. That's really, really strange. So I appreciate you guys who are out there watching. It's really strange to me that people watch my videos. I find it actually pretty cool. Because in the beginning, this was just me talking to a webcam just for shits and giggles, and now it's actually become something so awesome. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Islanders in the comments below. And I'm not an Islanders supporter, but I'm not an Islanders hater either. I used to be. Oh, I hated them in the 80s. Oh, man, because they were winning all the time. It drove me nuts. I've always been an underdog fan, but the Islanders have become pretty major underdog. I think playing in Brooklyn and playing in that stupid stadium where you've got like a truck down in the corner of every game and it's like it's weird, I don't think that helps. I know they're professionals and you should be able to focus no matter what, but it has to be somewhat off-putting to know that your home rink, there's fans who can't see the ice, there's seats should be at rinkside and there aren't any in parts of the arena because of the shape of it. And you've got a truck giveaway every game. It is so bizarre. So let me know what you guys think. And is this just a move to something new? Like you can wipe out the coaching staff, take out Garth Snow at the end of the year, bring in a whole new management team, move the team to Queens, and rebrand. Is that where the Islanders are headed, or are they just going to remain in flux? It is a sad organization right now. And before you guys get in and say it, yes, I would totally support a move to the Quebec City area. I think it would be fantastic. Do I think it'll happen? No. But fingers crossed. I would love to see Quebec City get the Islanders. That would be something that I think could help keep Tavares happy, would be getting into a city where you have a rabid fan base who really knows their hockey, as I know the Islanders fans do as well, but they'll support it no matter what. And the fans are there no matter what, and they'll sell out. And I think that could help Tavares stay, because right now Tavares has to be considering leaving the island. He has to be. And at the start of the year, I said, oh no, Tavares won't leave the island. But right now he has to be, because he's in his prime years, and he can't just sit around waiting for the team to get better. And if he has a chance to go UFA, I think he'll take it. And I think he'll be the biggest money UFA ever. I think he'll command at least, I would say, $10 million just as a starting point. per season. Because he can be that good. I've seen it in games this year. Tavares is fantastic. He's just on a team that isn't very good, and it's holding him down. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you all again real soon. I'm going to do other videos tonight discussing other hockey topics. I noticed there were some moves made today, and I'll do a video discussing that.